यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्म व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. This invocatory verse of Swami Ramanuja was composed by his dear disciple Koorathaazhwan, who was a great example of Acharya Bhakti. His life teaches us what it means to truly serve, surrender, and live for the Guru. Srivatsachinna nama ukti madhimaye yaduktayastrai kanthe yanti mangala sutratam. Today, on the auspicious occasion of Guru Pournima, even as we offer our heartfelt gratitude to our Acharya, let us learn from the example of Koorathaazhwan how to cultivate the qualities of a sincere shishya. The Srirangam temple keys were with Tiruvaranga Tamudanar, and Ramanuja wanted to get them to restore order in the temple functioning. When Amudanar requested Ramanujar to send one of his shishyas for the Ekaham ritual of his mother, Ramanuja specifically sent Koorathaazhwan with clear instructions. At the end of the ritual meal, the customary question was asked, Triptosi, are you satisfied? Koorathaazhwan replied, no, exactly as instructed by Ramanujar. When asked what would satisfy him, he asked for the Srirangam temple keys. Through this precise execution of his Acharya's instruction, Koorathaazhwan obtained the keys. The quality that we learn from this is absolute obedience and precision in executing the Acharya's command, without dilution, hesitation, or personal interpretation. Koorathaazhwan travelled with Ramanujar to the Sharada Peetham in Kashmir to access the Bodhayana Vritti, which is a commentary on the Brahma Sutras by sage Bodhayana. Impressed with Ramanujar's scholarship, the king gave him access to the original manuscripts. However, some Vedic scholars, driven by jealousy, seized the manuscripts back. Ramanuja was disappointed, but Koorathaazhwan came to his rescue. He had memorized the entire text during the previous night after Ramanuja had gone to sleep. On returning to Srirangam, Koorathaazhwan recited the text entirely from memory, and Swami Ramanuja composed his commentary on the Brahma Sutras, a work that later received the title of Sri Bhashya from Saraswati Devi herself. The quality we learn from this is that intellectual capacity must be used with complete humility as a tool for service, not self-glorification. Perhaps the most defining moment of Acharya Bhakti came during the Chola persecution. To protect his Acharya, Koorathaazhwan went to the royal court in disguise as Ramanuja, along with Periyanambi. When ordered to endorse a statement contradicting the Sri Vaishnava philosophy, he refused firmly. When the king commanded that his eyes be removed, Koorathaazhwan himself plucked out his eyes, declaring that he had no use for eyes that had witnessed such hostility towards Bhagwan and Bhagavatas. For the darshanam, the philosophy, he sacrificed his darshana, his vision. The quality we learn here is fearless commitment to the truth and the Acharya, placing dharma above personal suffering. Many years later, when Ramanuja returned to Srirangam and met Koorathaazhwan, he was greatly sorrowed at the loss of vision of Koorathaazhwan. To this, Koorathaazhwan responded, perhaps this is a punishment for some fault of mine. I must have criticized the way a Sri Vaishnava Bhakta bore the Tiruman in a crooked way. Rather than blaming others, Koorathaazhwan attributed the loss of his eyes to his own fault. The quality we learn here is the Sri Vaishnava ideal of turning inward and owning our faults instead of blaming others. Koorathaazhwan composed 5 great works called the Panchastavams: Sri Vaikuntastavam, Atimanushastavam, Sri Stavam, Sundarabahustavam, and Sri Varadarajastavam. Despite being born into wealth, possessing immense scholarship, and enjoying high social standing, Koorathaazhwan remained completely free from pride. Even after renouncing his wealth, he lived by unchavritti, begging for alms, demonstrating total detachment. Whenever his Acharya corrected or rebuked him, Koorathaazhwan would simply affirm, he is my Swami, I am his servant, never allowing ego to rise. The quality we learn here is egolessness, complete absence of pride due to birth, intelligence, or achievement. This humility is further illustrated in an incident at Srirangam. Entry into the temple had been banned for Ramanujar's followers. When Koorathaazhwan reached the temple gate, one guard told another, "He is a good man, let's allow him inside." Koorathaazhwan, however, heard this and walked away, saying, "I do not want any honor that comes from my identity as an individual. I only want to be known as a shishya of Ramanujar. And if, on account of that identity, I am not allowed entry, then I will do without darshan of Lord Ranganatha." The quality to learn here is the identity must be rooted in our discipleship, not in personal greatness or external validation. Ramanujar later instructed Koorathaazhwan to pray to Lord Varadaraja of Kanchi and seek restoration of his vision. Koorathaazhwan prayed, but instead of asking for his eyesight, he sought only one boon, that the Lord should forgive Naluran, the person whose actions had led to his loss of vision. What is the quality we learn here? Boundless compassion and forgiveness, even towards those who cause irreparable harm. When pressed again by Ramanujar to pray to the Lord for his vision, Koorathaazhwan finally complied, but with a condition. He prayed that he should be granted vision only to see the divine form of the Lord and his Acharya Ramanuja. So profound was his Acharya Bhakti that he also requested the Lord to grant him moksha before Ramanuja. His reason was not personal liberation, but service. He wanted to reach Sri Vaikuntham first, so that he could welcome his Acharya when he arrived and continue his Kainkaryam even there. The quality we learn from here is pure, selfless devotion, seeking moksha not for oneself, but to continue service to the Acharya forever and ever. To summarize, the qualities exemplified by Koorathaazhwan: obeying the Guru, using intellect for service, sacrificing all for dharma, owning up to faults, giving up pride, identifying only as the Guru's shishya, being compassionate, and rendering service eternally to the Acharya. On today's auspicious occasion of Guru Pournima, let us pray to Lord Sriman Narayana to bless us with the Acharya Bhakti of Koorathaazhwan. Let us try every day to listen to instructions of our Guru, to use our talents in his service, to let go of our identity and ego, to choose compassion, and to stay humble always. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.